Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Correct understanding about what is the world and what is our position as the one who is living in this world to experience good and bad things. In yesterday's understanding analysis, we have seen that there are two ways wherein we accept an individual as a real entity and thereafter we start working on this hypothesis. This is because we are caught up in the habit of cause and effect. So when we see something, we take it for granted that it is an effect. When we say this is an effect, then we start searching for a cause. So he who has labeled something as an effect, he alone goes on struggling to find out the cause. For example, somebody is, let us say the other day this happened in Bombay, that in some gathering I did not talk to one person. Now, this is an event. This is not an effect. So I did not talk. Afterwards, there was a big commotion. Big email, Swamiji, please forgive me if I had done something wrong. I couldn't understand what is the reference. And then I said, please talk to me. I don't understand the riddles. I like straight language. No, yesterday when we were there, you did not talk to me. I said, I didn't recognize your presence. Forget about talking. No. Because you did not talk to me, I thought that I must have done something wrong. See? This is how we go on creating problem for us because of our this habit. And that is why we get caught up in cause and effect. And this cause and effect is such a solid illusion that you don't accept it as an illusion. Cause and effect is not the reality, it's an illusion. So, we go on imagining that we are told God is in the heavens. How can you say no? And he is sitting there with a paper and pencil. Whatever you do, sin, merit, sin, merit, sin, merit. He goes on putting the tally marks. And then by the time you die, he has the account ready. And then that slip he puts in your coffin and you wait there. See, the moment we push the God away from us and other than us, what are the consequences? See, in India during the summer days, it's very hot. In Kerala or throughout India, extremely hot. So people, what they do in the afternoon time, every house doesn't have the AC and all those comforts. So what they do, they open all the windows and everything, and the flooring is cement flooring. So they lie down on the cement flooring, except the lungi below. On the upper side, nothing. There they lie down. It's so hot. And in that, when their own hand, heavy one, lands on their central province, they don't feel afraid. Such a heavy hand landed, they don't feel afraid. And then they sleep, and there is a lizard on the ceiling with her baby. So the mother lizard and a baby lizard. So there is a mother lizard and a baby lizard. And the baby lizard tells mother lizard, Mummy, Mummy, it's a very good helipad. Shall I land? Yes, give it a try. You have to learn. And then the baby lizard jumps from there on the helipad. Bang. Now such a heavy hand, when it landed, there was no fear. But small little baby lizard, when it landed, that few tonner jumps out of his skin. Wow, what happened? Now analyze this. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, fear is bound to be. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, desire is bound to be. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, anger is bound to be. And anything which is other than I is always inert. Because our experience is that I am a living being. So anything which is other than me is inert, non-living being. See, I am the seer, this table is the seen. So the table cannot see me, I can see the table. So, in an experience where anything is recognized as other than I becomes inert. Swamiji, we are experiencing you as other than I. Are you inert? Yes. Because what you are seeing me is not me. You are seeing my body only. See? And therefore, if we keep that God as other than us, we will be all the time afraid of that God. Oh, God will punish us, behave properly. If you don't follow the law of karma, He will send you to hell. If you follow the law of karma, He may send you to hell again. We don't know. See? Or else, if you don't follow the rules of the church, you will go to hell. Because the rules of the church are formed for sending even God to the hell. Think. Don't push that God away from you. One day, one child asked me this question. Swamiji, you say that God is in our heart, in everybody's heart. So, how do we know whether we are expressing or God is expressing? What a beautiful question. your laptop is attached with the power cord. How will you know whether the laptop is running on the power supplied by the electricity or the charged battery? How will you know? See, there are two powers inside. One is the electrical power which is coming through the cord, and second is the battery which is charged and keeping the power inside. How will you know? So there we have got a meter to show. The meter shows that if it is a power supply, the power sign comes up on the screen. If there is no power supply, then the battery sign comes on the screen, and you know now at this moment it is the battery which is operating and not the power. If this example is clear, when we are expressing, how do we know whether the God within us is expressing or the soul within us is expressing? One question. Now the second question the child asks. See, this is how the genius questions come from the uncontaminated minds. His question was, Swamiji, every one of us are miserable. I said, yes. Because we have got miseries in our heart. I said, yes. Now God is in everybody's heart, so how much more miserable he must be? See? Calculation. So kindly solve this riddle. When this question was asked, the mother of the child was there. She immediately, mother means what? Who knows only how to scold the child, nothing else. So, don't ask silly question to Swamiji. Because she was not able to answer. So she thought, Swamiji may be put in a corner. Therefore, better stop this question. I said, Amma, this is between me and him. Why you are coming? You get out. Don't come between me and my child. Go away. No, Swamiji, he always asks such funny and stupid questions. I said, you please go away. Then I'll reply. I push her out. Otherwise, what will happen, she will learn this thing from me and start teaching others. This is the tragedy of the elders. See? The other day, I think 2001, I came to Germany and Netherlands. And we went to Stuttgart and beyond Stuttgart, I don't know the place. And with some yoga studio kind of thing. So, when I went for the first time, that was my interaction with the Europeans, Germans in Germany. And then I was told, he's my boyfriend and I am his girlfriend. Both of them old. What boyfriend, girlfriend? Old friend. Okay. Thereafter, complaints. Swamiji, 25 years before, I started for the first time yoga in this place. Then, in every batch, I used to take 20 students. Then, I have taught many students. Then, each one of them has started one new school of yoga. Then, now the number of yoga teachers is more than the number of yoga students. Because every Tom, Dick and Harry becomes a yoga teacher. And one such girl, I think from Hamburg only, this time I didn't meet her. She says, Swamiji, I want your advice. What is that? I am working as a radio announcer. I want to give up that job and start a yoga studio. And I'll charge money for teaching them. and then I will get this much money. All calculations ready. I said, who told you yoga is learned to earn money? You are already earning money through your job. So continue that job and live your yogic life. The moment we learn few things here and there, we want to start a studio, a yoga. And thereafter, all the time worried only about that. Not about the truth. See, if this is with this kind of training, other kind of training. When people study, let us say, Vedanta Shastra, I'll give another example. There is one Amma who has studied sincerely very well, and she was teaching also. And I told her once or twice, I said, Amma, you are getting too much involved in teaching. Don't go beyond the limit. But it is such a intoxication that when you give lectures and others listen, it is a kind of a showbiz experience. And then she could never understand that. And finally, she has come to a crossroad. She is completely shattered, frustrated, dejected. Why? Because now people are not coming to her lectures. And then they complain, Swamiji, I have taught so many people, but now nobody comes. Earlier they were coming, now nobody comes. I don't know why they are like that. I think there is some kind of force on them. Somebody has told them something. And go on imagining. I said, please understand one thing. When people go to university or the college, they don't go to stay there throughout life. They learn and go out. Why do you hold on to them? But we cannot understand that. So either we start yoga studios or we start teaching or writing books. And these two things take us away from the reality. Therefore, how do we know whether God is expressing through us or the soul is expressing through us? So first principle. I told that child, I said, look here. I give you one chocolate, a rare chocolate, which you like. So what you will do with that chocolate? Suppose you eat that chocolate. So what will be your experience? You will be happy? Yes. Suppose I give you that chocolate to you which you like really very much. But you also know that your small sister also likes it very much. And you love your sister. And therefore you don't eat that. And go home. And give it to your sister to eat that. When she eats and she becomes happy, that time what is your experience? Swamiji, I will become more happy. Then I ask him, there are two types of happinesses, is it not? One happiness you experience when you got something. Other happiness you experience when you gave something. Experience of happiness when we get something is the experience of a beggar, a jiva, a soul. And when we experience happiness in giving, not taking, that happiness is the happiness of divine origin. See? Let that God express through us in this manner. This is called as God realization. When we realize the real joy is not in accumulating, taking, bringing. No, it's in giving. How much the Lord has given us. There was a man who was praying to the Lord, "Oh Lord, I don't have anything. I am the poorest in the whole of the town. And please give me everything. I am so miserable. I don't have anything." And that side when Mahatma was going. So Mahatmas are common, whether there are people, paupers, beggars on the road or the king in the palace. For them everything is same. They have got free visa movement everywhere. So when this man was crying, this Mahatma just looked at him. Then this man said, "Mahatma ji, you do something, tell God to give me. I don't have anything." Mahatma ji said, "God, though I don't know, but I know the king. You come, I'll take you to the king. He will give you anything. God nobody has seen, but king you have seen, he will give. Come." So that man was very happy. And then this Mahatma told this king that this is my plan. And then let us see what happens to the man. He said, "Okay." So that beggar said to the king, "Sir, I don't have anything, please give me." Then the Mahatma Ji said, "Okay, I'll bargain. You give your eyes. How much will you like to get money in exchange? $1 million? $5 million? The king is ready to purchase. Then he wants your hands. How much you are ready to sell it for? $1 million, $2 million, the king is ready to buy. Then your legs. The king is ready to buy them for the amount you quote. No. I don't want to give my eyes, hands and all that. That means how much is the value? And you say that you don't have anything. See, when we recognize our inner strength, our abilities, our potentialities, invoke them, work sincerely, that is God realization. See, the whole approach to life will change. So, God expresses through us as a creative, dynamic, positive force and enjoys in giving to the world. We also give trouble. See? No. Happiness alone. And why God is happy in giving happiness to others? Because He has infinite source of happiness. He doesn't sprinkle happiness on the world. Little bit. Like, the spray of the perfume. He hose pipes happiness on the world. Hose pipes, yes. There is no dearth. Recognize God in this manner. Not above the clouds. We all have gone above the clouds one time or the other when we were flying. Have you seen God there? You can fool others as long as they have not gone above the clouds. Now you cannot. So, this is the divine reality. Now, this God is present in everybody's heart, so He should be the most miserable one. Now, why this God, although present in every miserable heart, He is not miserable? So, Patanjali Yoga Darshan defines God. Upadhi asansprushtatvam ishvaratvam purusha visheshaha. When we are not influenced by the limitations of the conditionings, then we are God. For example, we have a desire to have something, to go somewhere, and we cannot have it, we cannot go somewhere. Now, what is the net result? Net result is, if desire is fulfilled, ha ha. If desire is not fulfilled, ooh. See? When the desire is fulfilled, oh God, thank you so much for fulfilling my desire. So the desires are making us dance. See? When, like in the morning meditation we have seen, this gross space where everything is existing is not influenced by the movement of the planets. This gross space is not influenced by the waters. It doesn't become wet. This space is not influenced by the fire and the air. See? Similarly, our mind is not influenced by any thoughts. It is way out of foolishness. Hold on to the thoughts. Because when holy thoughts come and unholy thoughts come, noble thoughts come, ignoble thoughts come, creative thoughts come, destructive thoughts come. So that mind is supporting every type of thought, and therefore the mind is not influenced by them. Go one step further. This conscious space supporting all the four experiences, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, waking, dream, sleep, and the Samadhi. They keep on coming and going. When we recognize that God principle in this manner with reference to our life, it is called as God. And when the same divine principle is recognized without reference to our body and individual existence, it is called as absolute reality. It is the same principle. Like the man without reference to wife is called as a man. The same man with reference to the conditioning of his wife is called as husband. So man and husband are not two. Man is a free expression of manhood, and husband is a miserable expression of the manhood. Both are expressions of manhood. See? Man is never miserable and husband is never happy. Recognize this understanding. See? It is so true. So this God, whom we recognize with reference to our existence, now I am taking you one step further. This God who is to be recognized with reference to our individual existence is nothing but the mind. Because when the body is alive, the mind is controlling the inner functioning. The mind is controlling the digestion, blood circulation, metabolism, excretion. Everything is taken care of by the mind as the inner controller. And this principle and this functioning of the mind is common for every living being. A dead person, if you put a teaspoonful of milk in his mouth, it will not be swallowed, it will come out. Because the mind is not there. So that God, what we talk about is the inner controller, Antaryami. Antaryami, inner controller. Now see, the same mind has also another expression. What is that expression? The mind has taken the shape and the form of the body. Thereafter, a sense of otherness is born. And then the sense of otherness creates a sense of limitation. So I am only this much. I have only this much. She has so many things. So comparison, jealousy, desires. This is a load that the mind carries. So this loaded mind is called as the jiva or the soul. See, now the mind is expressing in two ways. One aspect of the mind is creating jiva or the soul. Another aspect of the mind is the inner controller, the God. Now, which is a predominant operation in our life? Whether the inner controller mind is controlling our life, or this aspect of the mind which has taken a shape and thereby formed into an individuality, whether that is predominantly operating. See, when there is an object and I desire, I want it, I don't know how to get it, I don't have money, but it is very necessary, I'll become miserable. The object is there, the desire is there, but it doesn't touch me. That time who is functioning? The inner controlling mind. Therefore, when the worldly objects, worldly themes do not influence us, that time we are in tune with the divine. We are not numb. We are not dead. But there is a freedom. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridi sthitaha atha martyaha amruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Kathopanishad mantra tells, when none of the things in this world create any desire in the mind, Desireless mind is God. All the great masters live in this world without carrying the load of desire. And because they don't carry the load of desire, none of their thoughts get aborted. Whatever they think, whatever they say, it happens. Because that thought, be very attentive, that thought has not originated from the second aspect of the mind, which has crystallized a personality. But that thought has its origin from the reality, the inner controlling mind, the God. Thoughts can have two origins. This is a watch. I look at the watch and a thought arises in my mind. What a beautiful watch, I should have it. So this thought, which has begun from the object, creates a bondage. But the thought, the sankalpa, which begins from not the object but from the heart, that thought is a divine will. When we become aware of this divinity that we are, we can no more thereafter live in this world like beggars. So this is all the problem of giving too much importance to our individuality. See? The desire of a dog to eat a bone, a desire of a man to eat a chicken, desire for a vegetarian to eat a pumpkin, or desire for the gods in the heavens to enjoy the ambrosia, they all fall in the category of the same thing called as desire. See? Therefore, don't push the God away. He is very much within us. And if He is within us, He is not to be afraid of. God is not a thing that we should be afraid of. But we are afraid of the God because we don't want to face Him. And therefore we keep ourselves running away from ourselves. We don't want to come back. Therefore, friends, discover this God within you. Don't go outside anywhere. Otherwise, you will be caught up in rules and regulation. God is never gained by rules and regulation. is beyond rules and regulation. Now, when we become aware of the divine presence in us, our quality of life will automatically change. See, I am telling you, according to the Indian tradition is when the teacher comes in the class or when the elderly person comes in the room or the house, whatever they may be chatting or talking or doing anything, the moment teacher comes or elderly person comes, they all keep their mouth shut and behave properly. Because the one whom they respect and revere has appeared before them. Now, another example. These children were making a lot of noise, caw, 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 caw. And the teacher has slowly got in, but nobody knew. Will they stop? They'll continue the same noise. And the teacher has, third example, the teacher has not come. They are making all noise. Then one student just plays fool. Hey, sir has come. Because the moment they become aware that the teacher has come, they start behaving properly. If these examples are clear, when we become aware that before every word is uttered, it is heard by the Lord in the heart. Before every action is done, it is recognized by the divine within us. Before every thought passes through our mind, it is authenticated by the divine presence. When we live in this awareness, you are following the path of spiritual unfoldment. Then we don't have to do sadhana. Then it starts happening. Be very attentive. One day I was very angry, extremely angry. So I started biting my teeth, making my nose, turning my eyes out of anger, and tightening my fist, and biting my teeth, and shivering my body. When I was angry, this was happening. I have noted all these things. Oh, this is what happens when I become angry. Very good. Next time, the children were making a lot of noise. I thought, now let me invoke anger. So I started biting my teeth. I started clenching my fist. I started moving my hands. I started making my eyes red. Then I started, no! And that very moment, my child tells, Dad, mom is behind you. Now what you have understood from this story? When you are really angry, these symptoms appear on you. But if you invoke these symptoms, that will never make you angry. In the same manner, when you are living in awareness, everything happens. And therefore what we thought, if I sit quiet, I will realize. If I close eyes, I will realize. If I do yoga, I will realize. If I chant Lord's name, I will realize. It is something like I tried to invoke the symptoms of anger on me and tried to become angry. It can never happen. See. Therefore, the real spiritual practice is living in awareness. This experiment we do all. What is the experiment? When I sleep, I am unaware, I am just lying down. Okay, I have known. So what do? I go and lie down and keep on thinking. No sleep. See? Therefore, friends, live more and more in awareness that the God, the divine principle, is within every one of us. Now the next stage. When I consider myself to be a body, I will consider all of you to be body. When I consider myself to be body, I am man or woman. So I will look upon you as man and woman. When I consider myself to be the body, I consider myself to be young or old. So I will look upon you as young and old. See? And when I discover the divinity, that is my essential nature, I will see divinity in everyone. And if I have seen divinity in everyone, will I condemn anybody? If you do this, you will go to hell. Will you please give me directions? Because you are expert. You have sent so many people to hell. So kindly give the directions. Therefore, friends, first we have to discover our divine nature. And if we have discovered our divine nature, the whole world is nothing but divine. In a medical college, the students learn anatomy on a dead body. That skeleton is hanging there. This is called as the cranium. These are called as the cervical vertebrae. These are called as the thoracic vertebrae. These are called as the lumbar vertebrae. That last one is the coccygeal vertebra. These are the floating ribs. These are the actual ribs. This is the clavicle bone. This is the sternum. This is the pelvic bone. This is the femur. And these are the shoulder joint, the scapula and the humor. Learned? Yes. Now, the teacher asks in the examination, where is the cranium, the skull? And the student says, Sir, let us go to the anatomy laboratory. Why? Because I have seen skull only on that skeleton. Arey Dumbo, you have a skull also. See, in the same manner, if I have really learned spiritual science, then God, 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 I will not push him away. And this is what Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in the 15th chapter. He tries to introduce us to the divine principle. Not a vague thing above the clouds, but what is his shape? If the buffaloes have to imagine God, how they will imagine? Oh, God is with a white color because they are black. And the God has got very straight horns because the buffaloes have got the curly horns. And the buffalo God will give directly coffee because these buffaloes give only milk. See? If the dogs have to dream, it is raining. What will be the dream of the dogs? Bones are raining. If the cat has to dream, something is raining, the rats are raining. See, this God is very much our own essential nature. Let us not push him away in all imaginations. So when we become aware of this divine principle in us, we see that divinity everywhere. And to help us see that divinity everywhere, Bhagavan starts telling. Yadadityagadam tejo jagadbhasayate khilam yachandramasi yachagnau tattejo viddhimamakam Gama cha bhutani dharayamyahamojasa pushnami chaushadhi sarva somo bhutva rasatmakaha aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamasritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtaha mattasmృతిర్జ్ఞానమపోహనంచ वेदैश्च सर्वै अहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्. These are the addresses where God is available. Yad adityagatam tejaha, the light and the brightness of the sun is the divine manifestation. Now see what is the impact of this one statement. Before the sun rises, if we are the real devotee of the Lord, before He comes, we will keep everything fresh and ready. It's not the teacher is coming for the class and after the teacher comes, then, sir, if you are going early for the class, kindly vacuum it and keep everything ready. We are coming afterwards. No, it is the other way around. In the same manner, if we recognize God in the Lord's Son, we will begin our day early in the morning with all freshness, and when the sun comes, we salute Him with all purity. The whole life will change. See? Yadadityagatam tejaha jagad bhasayate khilam. And then we can't have an excuse. Actually, I want to do the worship of the God, but this time I have forgotten my mala, so I cannot do it, Or I have forgotten my asan, therefore I cannot do meditation. Or I have forgotten my picture of Gayatri, and therefore I cannot do the puja. So what do? I sleep. Why waste time? Now with Lord Sun as your God, anywhere you go on the earth, you cannot say that, oh, I have forgotten Lord Sun, I can't do puja. You can. Our mind is such intelligent one, always try to discover excuses how to go away from the spiritual path. Then, Yat Chandramasi. But now it is night, how can I worship God? The same God comes in the form of the moon. But you know, tonight is a complete black, new moon night. So Bhagavan says, in the fire, oh, but where is the fire? In your lighter? Oh, there is. So yada aditya gatam tejaha jagat bhasayate khilam yach chandramasi yach agnau tat tejo vidhi mamakam. Recognize the light and the heat in the sun, moon and the fire as my manifestation. See, that is the reason in every religion they have the flame, the light as a holy thing in every worship. This is the reason. After that is done, so see how the God is brought nearer to us. First he was in the sun, then he came in the moon, nearer. Then he came in our lighter, fire, very near. Then Gam avishya cha bhutani dharayamyaham ojasa pushnami chaushadi sarva somo bhutva rasatmakaha. The Lord says, I support the earth by my divine power, because of which the seeds grow and become full of life and energy, which is maintaining life of the animals and the human beings. That is me. That is the reason when we take food, we remember the Lord. One of the mantra chanted is this: Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha. The Lord says, not only I am in the food, but I am also the digestion power for every one of us. See? Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha. Not only in the human beings, in every being. The digestive fire is me. Now imagine when you become aware that the food that is given, it goes directly to the Lord. Will you ever give the leftovers? One lady I have seen in India on a hill station. Very old she was, about 80, 85. She was so bright, as if she was a young girl of 22, 23. Her eyes so beautiful, skin shining. So I asked her, Amma, which beauty parlor you go? So with one tooth gone, remaining teeth all right, she smiled. So cute smile. So I went and hugged and kissed her. Amma, you are so sweet. What is the secret of your sweetness? You know what she told? She didn't say a word. She just smiled. Then her daughter-in-law told. She said, Swamiji, my mother-in-law, she does not take food which is cooked and left for more than 4 hours. And she eats very little quantity. Little bit of rice, little bit of dal, little bit of vegetable, and that's it. But both the times it is freshly cooked. So I asked her, I said, it must be too troublesome. She said, no, every day it is troublesome if we take it that way. But now I know this is what is her rule, so I do that. And as a result, everyone in our house gets fresh food. There is another family I met in New Zealand. 6 of them in the family. Husband, wife, wife's parents, husband's parents, 4 there, this husband, wife. And the husband, wife have got 2 children. Boy has completed his engineering and the girl has completed her, rather she was completing her medical. And both the children not taking 1 pie from the parents, borrowed a loan from the government, they say we will pay every pie. And all of them staying in the same roof. This lady, before she goes for work, she cooks food for everybody. And exactly that quantity, so that by lunch everything is over. Evening when she comes, she again cooks. So one day I asked, I said, Amma, don't you get tired? She said, no, Swami, it's a fun. Rather than eating the old stuff, take out from the fridge, put into the microwave, take out from the microwave, put into the garbage can. See? Then I asked that old lady, that Amma, what is the reason that you take both the time fresh food? She told this what I am telling you. She said, Swamiji, our Gita tells that Bhagwan is seated in our stomach and he is digesting. So when I offer something to God, I cannot offer leftover old things. See? She said, I don't take food. It is offered to my Lord in my stomach. See, the whole life becomes divinized. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha Pranapano Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. And I digest 4 kinds of foods. According to your Ayurveda, the 4 kinds of foods are: 1 which is beaten, 2nd which is swallowed, 3rd which is licked, isn't it? And 4th which is cut and eaten. So either you take this leha, choshya, etc., peya, khadya, you can take anything 4. Proteins, carbohydrates, fats and vitamins. Oh, good. God knew this thing. Yes, He knows little bit. Vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegan and naturopathy. Everything is possible in His presence, not otherwise. In this manner, now see, we have started seeing God in the sun, then came nearer to moon, then in the fire, then in the food that we eat, and now as a digesting principle, it is the same divine principle. Oh, so God came and landed in the stomach? No, wait. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha. I am in the heart of everyone. And what do you do there? Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanam cha. I illuminate the jnanam, the waking experience. Smriti, the dream experience. Apohanan, the deep sleep experience. And chakarat samadhi, and the samadhi. I illuminate all these 4 experiences. This divine reality is Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyaha. And all the Vedas are meant only for recognizing that we are essentially divine. We are not sinners. Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyaha. And this can be known only through the Vedas, because the Vedas alone declare that you are the expression of the divinity and you are not the children of sin. See, to discover your divinity. As much it is a sin to condemn others, much more it is a sin to condemn yourself. As much it is a sin to insult others, so much it is a sin to insult your own divinity. Vedaisya sarvai ahameva vedyaha. And see the most beautiful part, vedyaha. We have only to recognize, we don't have to do anything. See this morning's meditation. We have not done anything. Only recognize our correct identity. Vedaisya sarvai ahameva vedyaha Vedanta krut veda videva chaham. And I am the one who comes in our life in the form of the teacher. And I am the one who comes in the heart of the student as the urge to know me. Thus, everything is the divine reality. In this, there is no devil anywhere. If there is a devil against the God will be always afraid of the devil. There are no two kingdoms. One is the kingdom of God, second is the kingdom of devil. Both of them will be afraid of each other. That is okay for KG1, KG2. But we are like, the small children. Wanting to pick up only what we are interested in, not what the teacher wants to teach us. This example I had given in some places. Like the teacher wants to teach the children summation. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now who wants to learn that? So the children are given chocolate. 1 chocolate plus 1 chocolate is equal to 2 chocolates. Understood? Yes. Tell what you understood. Now the student says, 1 chocolate, what the teacher told? 1 chocolate, what the student understood? 1 chocolate, see the difference. So, such a student was taught 1 chocolate plus 1 chocolate is 2 chocolates. Homework given. 1 banana plus 1 banana is equal to how many banana? Now the child is frustrated, very serious. So mother says, Beta, what is the problem? Can I help you? What you will understand, dad tells you are dumb. But what is that? I can try. Try. So the child gives the problem to his mother. Problem is 1 banana plus 1 banana is equal to how much? Beta, it's 2 bananas. I knew you will say that. Do you know one thing? Our teacher told 1 chocolate plus 1 chocolate is equal to chocolate. This is not chocolate, mom. This is banana. Now see the tragedy of the child. In the same manner, this hell, heaven, birth, death, sin, merit. This is meant for teaching us 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But we get lost in hell and heaven. The purpose of all the words of the scriptures is only to reveal the divinity that alone is the truth. But we get carried away by the non-essentials. And when We want to hold the crowds together. Crowds together can never be held by wisdom. They can be held together only by guilt and fear, because majority them are fools. Wise people are not 12 to a dozen. See? And therefore, my definition of democracy is the rule of majority. And majority is always the fools. And therefore, in democracy, the fools rule the wise. Isn't it? So we are all democratically fool. Discover this divinity in and through everything and being. Let us not push that God above the clouds. Let us not imagine to have his vision by going to heaven after death and keeping on waiting in the graveyard. No. The truth is known now or never. It is not later or afterwards. No. The truth is known here or nowhere. It's not after going to India, I think I will come to realize. There you will come to realize mosquitoes, not truth. See? Many people go to this Kumbh Mela. In Nasik, recently there was one Kumbh Mela. Millions of people come there. And there was one very good cartoon in a newspaper. I was so thrilled to see the cartoon. The cartoon was, there are two yogis completely naked and they have made thorn beds and on that they are sitting or sleeping. Yogis always do funny things. They never live normal life, abnormal life. So, one of the yogi was disturbed. So the other yogi asked, hey, what's wrong with you? Why don't you sleep? He said, no, I am trying to fix a mosquito net. There are too many mosquitoes here. You are sleeping on a thorn bed, but you are worried about the mosquitoes. See? Therefore, friends, don't wait for the time to change. Don't imagine the places to be changed. The truth is everywhere, every moment. Otherwise, you go on imagining, if I go there, if I come there. Don't go anywhere, don't come anywhere. Be wherever you are. That is more important. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.